Hello people, and welcome back. This is a lecture in my own voice. It's about what I've lived and what I've put into. They expected to outlast me. I'm not just reciting lyrics, I'm explaining the reality behind them and why I am still here standing when I was never meant to get this far. Alright, I know the game they play. I want to make this very clear. I understand the game that was being played with my life. They did not just rely on evidence or truth, they relied on time as a weapon. Legal delays were used like a slow poison. Every adjournment, every postponed date, every extension. All right, well, we'll come back to this later. Anyway, that it wasn't neutral. It was calculated. It was a calculated move to wear me down, to make me unstable, to make me look unreliable. They expected me to sway under that pressure. They expected me to withdraw. They expected the strain to break me. In their mind, if they stretched the process long enough, my own exhaustion would do their work for them. Delay is not neutral. What it does to a human body. I speak in my lyrics about the human body getting tired under stress with no release. And I say that because I lived it, still am. Continuous stress is not a concept to me. It's something I carried in my muscles, in my sleep, in my heartbeat. My body and mind were pushed towards collapse. They were counting on that. They know, and the systems know, that people under relentless pressure start to unravel. My own legal team, my solicitor, they all understood this too. They knew what prolonged uncertainty and fear does to a person. And yet, instead of truly protecting me, I was often left. Sorry. Just thinking about it. Okay. So yeah, I was often left. I was left to endure it on my own. I was not shielded. I was not supported the way I should have been. I was allowed to carry the full weight of it myself. Being turned into someone I am not. One of the most painful parts was being presented as a version of myself that isn't me. In the process, I was painted as a shadow, someone unreliable, unstable, and not credible, a version of me that they could dismiss, ignore, or weaponize against my own truth. Delay helped with that. When you are exhausted, late, stressed, overwhelmed, it becomes easier for others to say, look at her, look at him. You know, he isn't together, she isn't serious, he isn't trustworthy. That was never an accident. It was part of the design. They didn't just expect time to pass, they expected me to fade. They weren't simply waiting. No, that would be too easy. So they weren't simply waiting, for the calendar to move. They were waiting for me to fall apart. They expected that I would crack emotionally, that I would break financially, that I would quietly disappear into a weaker version of myself. They imagined a version of me that no longer had energy, no longer had clarity, couldn't show up on time, couldn't present myself properly in court. They wanted me confused, disoriented, and ashamed by the time the court date came around, so that I would be easier to dismiss. So they wanted me to be a footnote, a tragic outcome. Yes, still here I am. In the lecture of my life, this is the turning point. Yet still here I am, alive, breathing, still functioning, still standing tall. I was meant to, yet still here I am, alive, breathing, still functioning, still standing tall. I was meant to quietly self-destruct. I was meant to give up, fade out, doubt myself, believe their narrative, but I didn't. They wanted shame to chain my hands so tightly that I wouldn't hold them accountable for what they did. They wanted time to cause so much overthinking that I would collapse under the weight of it. Instead, I refused to surrender my truth. I refused to let shame own me. I refused to question what I know is right and wrong. They assumed the system would finish what they could not. They counted on the system, the delays, my personal circumstances, to finish the job they could not finish themselves. They thought they could step back and let the machinery grind me down, let the bureaucracy, the waiting, the stigma, and my own fatigue do the rest of the damage. They believed that eventually I would start believing their story about me and stop believing my own. They believed I would collapse. They expected to outlast me. Why I am still here? I do not stand alone. One of the most important truths I carry and that I needed to put into the lyrics is this: I am only able to do this with the creator of all that exists itself. I am not here only because I am strong. I am here because I am held. I walk this path with the creator guiding me, with my ancestors standing behind me, with my guardians and my spiritual team protecting me. Through everything that has happened, higher powers have been shielding me, guiding, whispering to me, do not give up, keep going. Everyone will see without a shadow of doubt that I did not get here on my own. They will see that I have been spiritually protected from the beginning. They will see that there is a reason I am still standing when I was expected to fail. My survival is evidence. They thought I'd be a sad story, a past case, a cautionary tale whispered quietly, but I am living evidence that delay can be survived, that misrepresentation can be challenged, that spiritual protection is real, that resilience is more than a word, it is a lived state. I was meant to disappear, I was meant to be erased, I was meant to be forgotten. I refuse to leave. I am still here, unbroken, free, thriving. What I want you to take from this, from my song and from this lecture, is my own words. I want you to understand a delay is not neutral. It has a psychological, physical, financial, and spiritual impact. Systems can be complicit. Even those meant to help can sometimes stand back and watch you carry the weight alone. Narratives can be weaponized. Being misrepresented is part of the harm. Survival is resistance. The simple fact that I am still here is a form of justice in itself. Higher powers are real in my story. The Creator, my ancestors, my guardians, and spiritual team are not metaphors to me. They are the reason I could walk through all of this without losing myself. They expected to outlast me, but I am still here, and I am not just here. I am standing in my own power, my own truth, and my own protection. And now they must face the uncomfortable truth they tried to outrun. I did not break, I did not disappear, I did not become their sad story. I became my own living, breathing testimony. I love you all. Bye for now.